Hello and welcome to your Living A Course in Miracles call. My name is Jared Krebs. I'm coming at you live from San Antonio. Today is Friday, October 26th, and we are going to start this call like we start every call. We want to know where you are calling in from and why you are excited about today's call. I am excited about today's call because I really liked the Grab Bag of Guilt video. It was a 30-minute video that basically covered the entire the metaphysics of the course. I mean, really listening to that video the last couple of days, it's like it's all there. It's all there, and it's in 30 minutes, and it's pretty heavy stuff. So I'm excited to discuss it and bounce ideas off of you. And so that's what I got. Who wants to go next?
Hey.
Nathan Lively.
Hey, Jared. It's Nathan. I'm in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm here with my dad, Craig.
Hello.
Hi, Craig.
We are excited to be here to forgive everyone.
Yay. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your forgiveness. And it's an honor to have you, Craig Sullender, on the call. Thank you for sending me those Course in Miracles audios a couple years back.
I did.
Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome.
Awesome. All right. Who's next?
I am next. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Maria Bowden. And I am excited to be with all of you guys today.
Hey. Well, welcome to your second call, Maria. It's so nice to have you.
Second call. Woohoo!
I know. So nice to see your smiling face.
Thank you.
All right. Well, big welcome to you. All right. Who's next?
Dana.
Oh, hi.
Linda.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Trying to look gorgeous.
You look gorgeous. Where are you calling in from?
Lancaster, California.
Lancaster, California. And why are you excited about today's call?
Because of the videos that I had to see, that's been very inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
And it's beginning to get a little chilly here. A smidgen. I mean, still like 85 to 90 here today, but it's California weather.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Well, thank you, Linda. Welcome to the call. All right. Stana Warren. I don't know if we can hear you. Let's see if you can unmute yourself. Oh, it sounds like you are unmuted. Interesting. Huh. I wonder why it's not working. I see you talking, but I don't hear you. Do you guys hear Stana? Anybody?
No, I don't.
Okay. Stana, you might have to type or something, or maybe like leave the message or leave the meeting and come back, or either that, or maybe it's something about allowing audio access to your Zoom. Sometimes when you log in.
Well, the thing is, you had to tell her to click on the bottom of the screen. As she sees a little microphone, she has to click on that.
No, she's
done
that.
I don't know.
No, she's done that. She's unmuted herself. So usually if there's an option to, she's going to come back. Okay. Yeah. Select join with computer audio when you come back.
Tell her to restart her system.
Yes, she's going to restart her system. All right. So I will get started with the content. So this video I found on YouTube on Friday night, and it's called The Grab Bag of Guilt. And that is what we've been watching from Ken Wapnick. And I've noticed that it's actually it's like a series of his little videos, almost like spliced together. And Linda, I'm gonna mute you just for, yeah, thank you, Linda. It's a series of his videos that have been spliced together. And the first one really talks about seeing common interests, shared purpose, and seeing you with the same shared purposes and common interests that I have, which is awakening from the dream. and taking into account that you have the same right mind that I have, and seeing that in you, and seeing Christ's face in you, and seeing shared purpose in you, and seeing common interest in you, as opposed to just looking at you like a body and looking at ourselves like bodies, because that's the veil. There's nothing so blinding as perception of form. So it was awesome to hear that and be reminded of that, and then to know also that maintaining my peace is a reflection of maintaining and being peaceful is a reflection of God's peace. And if I give my peace away, then now I'm operating from the eyes of the ego. So like really, really good stuff. And then the other thing that stood out was be kind, for everybody is fighting a hard battle. And why are you going to attack somebody who's already attacked themselves by appearing to be here? Because we all appear to be here. So we've all made the ego choice to be here. So overall, I mean, it was just a phenomenal video. I mean, he really kind of just summed it up, really the entire metaphysics of the course in those 30 minutes. One thing he said that I liked was the kissing cousins of perception makes perception, and ideas leave not their source, which always is kind of confusing to me, that term ideas leave not their source, because there's the idea of the obviously that we're connected with God, and so we've never left our source in the mind, but also the idea of the ego and how things come from the ego, that ideas leave not their source also kind of applies to the ego in some ways that the ego expresses itself. So honestly, there was a lot to this video. I listened to it twice and got a lot out of it when I was listening. It's hard to remember everything, but that's what I got for you. So who wants to go next? What were your highlights from your time watching or listening to this video?
Hey, Jared, I'll say some stuff.
Okay.
So I got a couple notes. I think some of these you said already. I guess my favorite one is just that one at the beginning. When you defend, you are saying, I'm going to participate in your ego's dream of attack. When I meet your attack with defenselessness, I'm saying, you might attack my body, but you cannot attack my mind.
Ooh.
And I think I've been thinking about that a lot the last few months, kind of how all communications and interactions seem to be some form of communicating that I would like to separate, or that I would like to union, whatever the verb for that is, join with you.
I like it.
You already talked about be kind, for everyone's fighting a hard battle. Oh yeah, if I'm unkind to you, I must be unkind to me, because there's only one mind.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you already said this, but I just like the way he phrases it. Everyone is in pain, trying to survive in an alien world that we made up, then forgot we did. Then we forgot we made it up.
What a mess. What a mess.
I know, I'm
like
from
his-
New York.
I liked his explanation of that first line about how it's a required course, and how some people choose to interpret that as spiritual specialness, like everyone has to take a course in miracles. And so he just kind of corrected that to say that there are many paths. Do not take another's path as your own, but neither should you judge it.
Oh yeah, he totally reminded me.
Yeah.
And it was cool how he said he actually regrets that part of the translation, like he wishes it was different, because people,
Right, because it was initially just a private letter between Helen and Jay.
yes,
And then it got included. I'm not sure the genesis of that.
yeah, exactly. So it was more of a personal question that Helen was asking, and it ends up really seeming like the course is required to somebody who's reading the book straight up, without Ken helping them understand it all.
Yeah, and so he just made it really clear that it is only for the person who is reading it, and there's no reason for it to ever leave that, private environment.
Really, really great.
I thought the grab bag of guilt was a pretty funny title. Ken didn't laugh while he was saying that, but it sounded pretty funny to me. So yeah, so you got I'm imagining like a Santa Claus big bag of stuff, and you reach in for anything connected with sin, guilt, and fear that would remind us that the ego is our friend.
Yes. He talks about that at the end, and he even uses the Santa Claus analogy.
Does he? Shit,
Yeah.
I didn't listen to the last few minutes, so I missed that. Okay. And then the last thing is just all of that I felt like really helped explain the often quoted phrase from A Course in Miracles, I'm never upset for the reason I think. So I think that helped me understand that a little bit better.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
Rock and roll. Thank you, Nathan. Man, I can tell you listened and you took notes. I think I should start. All right. So, Stana, are you live? Is your audio working? I see you've unmuted yourself. I'm listening closely for you. Nothing. Shoot.
No? Oh.
Not sure, Stana. I mean, it worked for you last week, so it's like weird. Keep playing with it. I also see Langdon Tompkins has joined us from France. It's 2:13 in the morning, and Langy is here, folks. Langy, good to see your smiling face. Welcome to the call.
Hi. Sorry I'm late. I was asleep. And I dreamt I should wake up and join. And then I couldn't join, so I had to try and join again.
Oh.
So I've missed a bit of the call. I
All
haven't
good.
done the videos.
You haven't done the videos. No problem. We'll bring you on when it's Forgiveness in the Field, because we want to hear what you've been up to, my man.
Yeah, it's been an interesting week.
Well,
Okay.
It's good to see you and hear you, and I'm just so glad you're here, man.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm here too, because it's all a bit weird, really. But
Right?
hi,
It's like
everybody.
a dream within a dream. Just kidding.
Yeah, I dreamed I had to get up and do it, and then I woke up, I looked at the time, and it was spot on 2:00. And then I thought, oh, I don't know, it's, you know, and then Lizzie was making, I don't know, snoring, and I just couldn't get back to sleep anyway. And then this thing said, get up and go. So I
That's
got up and
right.
so
Well,
here I
glad you're
am.
here, Langy.
Hi, yeah, thank you. Nice to see you all.
Yes.
Anyway,
Oh.
carry on, and I'll tell you about my week.
That's sweet. Awesome. For those of you who don't know, Langdon Tompkins is calling in from France, and he is one of our longtime members that has been getting on. It's 2 a.m. over there, so come on, talk about commitment. That's commitment.
Yeah, bonne soirée, tout le monde.
Heck yeah. All right, I know Maria Boatman was wanting to share. I could see her. She was about to unmute herself. Maria, what were your highlights from the video?
Well, I think in the first one, in my defenselessness, my safety lies, it's like I really like that, because it's like it expanded what defending was for me.
Yeah.
Like before, I thought it was just like, oh, you physically you do something, but it's like more than that, because what I've been seeing is that sometimes physically
We lost
seems
you.
like I am hacking, and I am. So for me, that was like, I really appreciated that video. And in the second one, like, be kind to everyone because everyone is fighting a hard battle. It's like he mentions lesson 182, and I went back and read that lesson. Oh my God, it's the most beautiful.
Uh-oh, you're breaking up, Maria. Is she breaking up for anybody else? Breaking up for other people?
Yes.
Okay. Maria, you're breaking up. Dang it. Hey, lots of forgiveness lessons here on the call. Lots of technical difficulties.
Thing. I choose.
Maria, are you able to possibly
Oh.
Can you hear me still? Because I cannot hear you. It's broken up quite a bit. Oh, and now we lost Maria.
Can you hear me?
We can hear Stana. Oh my gosh. All right. So while Maria's coming back, let's go to Stana. You sound great. I don't know what you did. It looks like you have a headset in.
I put my headset on. I don't know if that made the difference, or because I went all the way completely out of Facebook and then back in, the whole shebang, and then so I'm not sure what worked, but
Okay.
awesome.
Awesome. So Maria, we will come right back to you, but let's go to
Stana's
Stana.
back.
Well, you can,
All
Maria, you can let Maria finish.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sure.
All right, Maria. Can you hear us? Oh, we may be having the same technical difficulties.
I can hear you, but it's like breaking. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Or
I
am I
can hear you
breaking?
now. I think it has something to do with your internet connection. I don't know if you have
Connection.
multiple devices. Sometimes when my internet does that, it's because I have lots of devices going.
Restart your system.
Or if I'm not on 5G, like if I'm just on the normal and I'm not on 5G, it doesn't work as good. These are just suggestions. But let's see if we can hear you now. Go ahead and talk.
Okay.
I heard you say okay.
So what I was mentioning was like, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Or still? Like,
Yes.
The thing, it made me seem like the importance of context, because I always thought like, oh, the Course in Miracles is the best. And now I am like, no, that was not even like that. You know, when Ken was saying about like, we think like spiritual specialness with the Course being the best ever, and not considering that there are many, many thousands of paths that people could take. So I really appreciated that. And what else was here? Well, the grab back of guilt, it was like, oh my God, I just imagined myself as Santa Claus throwing stuff around to people. And but in the end, all the videos for me brought back like, hey, you need people to do this. You cannot do this alone. So it's like, and I was like a good news and the bad news, because it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, so I really like this selection of videos. I have to say that.
Oh, I thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I like what you said also about the in my defenselessness, my freedom lies.
Safety lies.
And how basically, if I'm defending myself, then I am identifying as an ego body, and I have totally identified the problem to be completely backwards. And it just seems like it's so natural to defend myself, right? It's like such a almost like a muscle reaction, you know? And so it's really, really cool to know that. Yeah. And that's part of my forgiveness in the field I'm going to share. But thank you for bringing that up. That's a really good one.
Thank you.
All right. Stana Warren.
Let's try this one more time.
Let's go.
Okay. Well, for those, since I wasn't heard before, I'm from Southeast Michigan, a little town called Wayne, about halfway between Ann Arbor and Detroit. And I'm here just to be able to share these ideas with people who get as much of a kick out of them as I do. My apologies, my brother came over, and so I only got to listen to 3 of the 5 sections, so I didn't get to the rock or the bag of guilt. But in my defensiveness, my safety lies. I've always admired the Eastern traditions that have you be from that perspective, where I heard a story once about a warrior who his master had been killed by somebody, and it was his job to avenge the death of the master. And when he went and approached the person who had killed his master, the man spit in his face, and he had to turn around and walk away because he could not kill him from anger or revenge. He had to kill him from the sense of duty. And that's the story that comes to mind for me when I hear about in my defenselessness, my safety lies. Because anytime you are being defensive, you're being reactive instead of active. And this also brings to mind the line in the Bible where Jesus says, turn the other cheek. And, you know, people misinterpret that to think that Jesus is wishy-washy and isn't willing to stand up for himself, when in fact it's really the fact that don't react. We need to be in control and respond to everything. And the Holy Spirit that works through us when we're not buying into our ego knows that. And the Holy Spirit doesn't get defensive. So if we're defensive, we know it's coming from the ego. And we don't want to live our lives from the perspective of the ego. I mean, that's part of what we're trying to learn not to do.
Yes.
So
Love it.
You know, and to go back to my story in the field last week about the woman with the grocery cart, I got to the part where I was being defenseless. It's just I didn't take it quite the rest of the way. So, and then the being kind, you know, what can you say about that? Wouldn't it be wonderful if we all were kind all of the time? I mean, it's just amazing. And then the required course. See, this kind of surprised me when he told that story about the fact that this was a message specifically for Helen and Bill, and it wasn't really meant for everyone, and that it was assumed to be rather had a sense of superiority, or could be assumed as having a sense of superiority. I never interpreted it that way. I always thought that when they said this is a required course, it's not necessarily that you had to take it as A Course in Miracles. It was just a lesson that had to be learned. So like when you're in college and you have to take introductory English literature, you've got 27,000 professors you can choose from, and which authors they choose and how they choose to present it could be different, but you're still going to learn a certain set of lessons. So I always interpreted that you had lessons that had to be learned, and that's what it meant by a required course, not that it had to be via A Course in Miracles. So that kind of surprised me a little bit. And sadly, I can't speak to the other two because I didn't get that far. And you blame my brother for that. Nope, no blame, sorry. No blame. I chose to spend time with my brother rather than finish the rest of my assignment.
Yes, and you're innocent and not guilty because of it.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right. And he's not guilty either.
That's your opportunity, right? So great stuff, Stana. I just love how we're all sharing these ideas and talking about them, and it's really cool to talk to you guys and be a community with you. So thank you. All right. Who's next? Linda. I guess Linda, I know you did the homework because you typed it up on Facebook. I'm going to pull it up right now so I can follow along with you.
Okay.
Linda always types out her take on the Facebook page.
Well, you know, I do a video. Depends on what my schedule is, you know. I play it by ear.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, plus, Lucy is here. Your furry niece.
Oh, that's right. Hi, Lucy.
Your furry Aunt Pinocchio's here, okay?
Hi,
She
Lucy.
wants to tell her Uncle Langdon. I mean, you're getting up in the middle of the night. We love you, Uncle Lang, okay? Have a glass of light chocolate and a big-ass glass of milk. And that'll help you fall asleep. Well, you know your diet. You went to school, right? Right. Okay. Usually
right.
a glass of milk can help you fall asleep. I always use almond milk. And on myself,
I'm with you, Linda. Let's rock and roll. Let's go.
and plus I'm getting too many ads on my cell phone. I have a list, and they better hide. Anyway. And I know my ego gets into high gear. I'm from New York. What can I do? Okay, so we all have our defenses of ego and guilt that we think we have to think, feel, and do for ourselves and not ask God for help. Well, lately I have, because I'm growing up when my mother passed away over 4 years ago. We think and feel that maybe God will be proud of us if we don't ask him for his help, but we should ask him for his help. He's available 24/7. And honey, He has all kinds of people working for him. He's not the type of guy you want to challenge. I got that practice from my mother, who's a tough lady from Queens, New York. Oh, my God. And if we do it on our own, but maybe we screw it up, that's where we need the Holy Spirit's help. Always into everything we're doing in our lives, to the simplest to the most complex in our lives. But God is always there, like an angel. We always need help from the Holy Spirit of our understanding to do everything with us and for us. That could be maybe combing your hair in the bathroom or washing dishes, anything, you know? I love doing the Course in Miracles audio book club by Jared Krebs on Facebook to keep my stinking thinking into higher gear. That's how I learned in the rooms of the 12-step program. And this November 25th, this November 18th, I'm going to have 25 years clean. Duh. I'm all right, Linda. So,
Awesome.
I love these rooms. I love A Course in Miracles. Where am I? All you have to do is just ask the Holy Spirit about something or anything. If you think it's stupid, I don't care. Ask him. Holy Spirit is always there. I know. He is. Okay. And see what the Holy Spirit tells you. And he has lessons for all of us. He does. Ken Wapnick is a great man in this time. I wish I could meet him, you know? Just to, like, thank him, you know? Thanks, everyone, for letting me share.
Beautiful. Thank you, Linda. Loved it. Followed right along. I noticed that I posted the video on, I think it was like Saturday. It was like Friday night. I posted this video. I think it was like before I went to bed, like at 2 a.m. or something. And by like 6 a.m, Linda had already watched it and posted. Man, I was like, shoot, Linda, you're on it, man. I'm impressed.
She's right here. She's thinking about all of you.
Oh, hi, Lucy. Hi, baby.
So
And
cute.
she especially gives love to her
Lucy.
Uncle Langan, who's up in the middle of the night. Right, Uncle Lang? You know you're tired.
Yeah, let's in fact let's start with Uncle Langy in France for Forgiveness in the Field. It's that time of the call where everyone shares what they forgave.
Yeah.
And, let's start with Langdon Tompkins in France. Welcome back, Langy. It's good to see you.
It's good to be back. And I love dogs. I love dogs an awful lot. And
Yeah, like the triple stone of our life.
yeah, except this week Ego made a bit of a play because that's my forgiveness or my wife's forgiveness opportunity for the week, in a duality sort of thing. Because when I got home from work on Wednesday lunchtime, there was a vet's letter on the table, and I thought it was to do with testing sheep or something. And I said, "What's up?" I could see something wasn't right. I said, "Is this good news or bad news?" She says, "Bad news." I said, "What?" She said, "I found 2 of my sheep dead this morning because of a dog." Now, dogs don't do this because they're wicked or evil. They just do this thing to sheep because they're dogs. And that's what dogs do when they are let out at night by their owners who don't care. Can't be bothered to take them for a walk. And when they do things to sheep, it's pretty grim. It's not very nice at all. So that was a forgiveness opportunity for me, but in a way it was a massive forgiveness opportunity for Lizzie because she had to deal with it. Because I had to get back to work, I couldn't even go and sort it out. So Lizzie was lumbered with all of that, which was horrendous. And I had to think about it when I got back to work, and I did all my forgiveness stuff. And, you know, all the thoughts come into your mind about the guy or the person who let their dog out. Because I don't know who the person is. I've got an idea who it is, but that's ego doing the judgment thing. So anyway, I did all the forgiveness stuff, and we dealt with it all. And then I just thought about it. I thought, well, when I've been on here before, I've said I haven't had a lot of forgiveness stuff to do. It's minor stuff. You know, I'm living a happy dream, really. And such a lot of good stuff's happening, and miracles too. And then I thought, well, this thing wasn't really batted at me; it was batted at Lizzie, because Lizzie doesn't get Course in Miracles. She talks about it now. Since I've been doing Course in Miracles, you know, when we started, we used to have the most horrendous rows. I mean, you know, she said, "You just want to be dead." I said, "No, I don't. It's not like that." And I don't exist. I said, well, that's not quite right either. You know, we all exist in the dream. Anyway, she's come a hell of a long way, and that's a miracle in itself. But I think this was an ego. This was like her ego, or her version of ego, doing something really horrible to her to make her really realize that, or be made to believe she's a body, because she had to deal with bodies, which were the sheep and the dogs that we don't even know. It was dog or dogs, I don't know. Hello, little one, I can see you. and even my dog killed a duck once, you know. I mean, dear old Yellow, you know, butter wouldn't melt in his mouth, you know what I mean? But he dispatched this duck in seconds, you know. Yeah, it's not nice. It's not nice. But dogs are dogs. You know, they do what comes naturally. They got all the kit to do what's, you know, I've got a cat. She's the loveliest cat you've ever seen. She's a psychopath. You know, she kills, you know, for the sheer hell of it. And I've seen her do it. You know, she'll dig up a mole and dispatch it, or a mouse or a bird, you know. And then she'll come and sit on my lap and purr, you know. She's a sweet little thing. Complete psycho job, she is. So that's ego. It's duality. You know, it's plus and minus, love, hate, all in a little furry bundle. So anyway, I've dealt with it my way. Lizzie's dealing with it her way. We had a little bit of a falling out, because she thought when I brought the subject up, I was criticising how she dealt with it. I said, no, I'm not. How would I criticise what you've done? Because that's just not what I would do. You know, she did a magnificent job of what she had to deal with. But I said, what you've been dosed with is a massive amount of emotions, and all of those are forgiveness opportunities. Oh, blow it, she says, I'm not interested in all that nonsense, you know. So I thought, well, because you're not giving any of it away, you're carrying it around like a big lump of rock, you know. And I just left it at that, you know, because that's what you have to do, because you have to forgive that too. I no longer get into conflict over things. I just, you know, quietly let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Good job, Langy.
So that's what I had to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to tell you guys.
That's awesome, man. Well, it's great to hear that you're, I guess you could say, like, abstaining from the conflict, or, you know, trying to be like the Course in Miracles police to your wife. You know, you're just letting her be her own, go through her own process, and also going through your process. And I like what you said about the happy dream, and then you had just really small things to forgive.
The miracle for me is that Lizzie and me are actually getting on better now than we've got on in years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you know, she sometimes wants to talk about a course or a subject. She'll say, well, yeah, so what's this about? So I'll talk about it, and we'll talk about it maybe for half an hour. And we seem to be doing great, you know, and then suddenly it's like ego shows up, and then it just goes completely sour. And you think, okay, that's as far as we're going today, and that's it. And then I go and take the dog for a walk, or go and do something.
Looking at the ego without judgment. We're in this ego crazy psycho planet, and that's our job, is to look at it without judgment. Just
exactly.
Thumbs up, just say, oh, there it is, and smile with a gentle smile, and look at it without judgment. So.
And I've been catching up on Gary too. I've been reading the second book, which your Immortal Reality. I was catching up on the Gospel of Thomas, which I've read a few times and didn't get some of it, quite a lot of it, but this time I got 90% of it. So that's good news. I'm now on Love Has Forgotten Nobody, or Remembers Everyone. I can't remember. You know what I mean. that's really good too. I find, and I'm doing Course in Miracles slowly, as slow can be, for the text, which is the third time I've read it, and I'm wading my way through the workbook as well. But I just do it when I feel like it. I'm not doing it religiously day by day. I just do it, usually when I'm at work at lunch break. I just do my daily thing and a chapter of the thing, and it's like reading Shakespeare and understanding Shakespeare for the first time, and seeing the thing about the Course in Miracles. It's really a beautiful book when you've read it a couple of times. When you read it slowly and you read, just read a sentence or a paragraph, and you think, wow, that is gorgeous, which it wasn't the first time. It was like wading through treacle, So anyway, Course in Miracles takes work, but I find Gary Renard, well, it's a bit mean on Gary, but he's really the instrument in it. So it's Arten and Purser that I've got to really thank, because they're responsible for all of this nonsense I'm doing with you guys. It's they got me into Course in Miracles, and I just find everything they've got to say just makes perfect sense. They do go on a bit, forgiving, but don't make it real. But that even Gary Renard's books, you see something and you think, well, I've read this 5 times, but I missed that last time. So Gospel of Thomas, lovely stuff.
Awesome, great, Langy. Thank you for sharing. Great to hear about your continued study and how you are reading Gary Renard and getting real into that, and also doing the course and really flowing through the course better because you've read it already 3 times. So, Ron, thank you for sharing, Langy.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for letting me do that.
Okay, so forgiveness in the field. Who wants
go, Jared?
You want me to go? Okay. I haven't brought out the timer. We have, how many people do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4 left. 5. Oh, if Craig wants to share too, then we probably should do a timer. 5 people. Okay, let's just say 3 minutes a piece. I'm gonna start the timer. I gave you long time, Langy, because I hadn't seen you in forever. We had to catch up. Come on, we had to see how you're doing. Plus, it's 2 in the morning. Come on, you get the 2 in the morning. You get the 2 in the morning discount. I'm just kidding. You get extra time. All right. So here we go. 3 minutes. All right. So my forgiveness in the field. I've actually had a pretty happy dream most of the week, and there was just some little things really to forgive. And of course, it has to do with my special relationship, Crystal, who my wife has just honestly been phenomenal. And I totally love her, and I owe her everything because she's the one who helped me find Gary Renard's audiobook. If it wasn't for Crystal, I would have never, maybe somehow I would have, but it was Crystal who brought it to me. And so I think a couple nights ago, we were in bed, and she was like, she insinuated that something about like me being cheap, and I saw the little jab, and then I remembered my Ken Wapnick grab bag of guilt of if I'm trying to defend myself, that means I'm really weak, or I forgot the peace of God within me, right? So instead of kind of trying to jab back or trying to defend myself, I kind of smiled. I was slow. I took my time and I smiled and I was like, I love you, babe. And I don't know what I did. But I know I did not react. I just kind of let it flow right through me. And I was pretty proud of that because I would have definitely been defensive. I'm pretty defensive most of the time when I feel like I'm being jabbed at by anyone, So that definitely was big progress. And have a minute left. There's also been fear of poverty stuff going around this week with me, the last 2 days out of the week. And I just have to realize that is the fear of, that's actually the fear of God, fear of death, fear of destruction, and fear of the atonement, in the form of fear of poverty. And just getting back to that happy place and taking action and it's just so weird because if you look at the papers, I'm great, we're great, but it's like if something goes off on the budget or whatever, then I like lose my peace. So I know that money and that type of stuff is a big forgiveness lesson for me. And I'm just going to keep, as things come up, I'm just going to keep forgiving and working on it. But there hasn't been anything like huge, right? Like there hasn't been like big blowups this week. It's been more like the slow burn stuff. But remember that is just as important as the big stuff. And I got 9 seconds left. So I made it. Thank you for listening.
Way to go, Jared.
Thank you, Nathan. All right.
You want me to say stuff?
Heck yeah.
So what I'll share this week is I was working on an event yesterday, and the event organizer, person who was kind of in charge, is just a character and a personality and high energy, and she just kind of yells stuff and thinks that whatever's going on with her is the most important thing going on for everyone. And so there's some stuff going on that I was doing, and then she yelled about it. She didn't know where it was coming from. She just knew I was connected with it because, well, she didn't know it was me. Anyway, so she was yelling about the audio in the room. And I turned it off and, immediately had a reaction about how she's terrible and how, she doesn't understand what I'm doing and, feeling like a victim. And pretty quickly, luckily, remembered to forgive. And then pretty quickly also came up with a solution after that about how I could sort of get my job done in a way that maybe wouldn't bother her. And it all worked out. And that's not always how it goes, but I was happy that I remembered to forgive pretty quickly, because at work, that is pretty rare for me. So that's my forgiveness in the field.
Well done, Nathan. And you forgave fast, bro. It was fast. It was high level. It was skilled forgiveness. Well done.
Thanks, Jared.
Yes, sir. All right. Who's next? Oh, yeah, and you also still had 1 minute and 17 left. Ooh. All right. Who's next? Forgiveness in the field. I think Maria's trying to talk. You might have to unmute yourself. There you go.
Okay, my forgiveness opportunity was on Wednesday when the pie bombs were set and CNN. That is my building. I go there. I shop there. When I saw the CNN reporters, it's like, this is in front of my pharmacy. And I was watching the TV, and I just felt that fear was just coming at me, and I was like afraid. And at that moment, I said, I have to forgive this. And I did, and I was okay. And then I turned off the TV. Otherwise, I would have spent all day watching everything that happened, all the interviews, and getting more and more into fear. But the fact that I was able to forgive that fast made the whole difference. And I'm going to share another one that happens the next day. The next day, I am watching TV, and they are talking about Trump and something he's doing with his cell phone. And I was just laughing. I was laughing so hard. So any button was pushed, nothing. So my forgiveness is working. Yay.
Wow.
That was awesome.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wow, Maria, big time wins right there on both fronts.
Yes, that was awesome.
They say together or not at all. We have to see peace. We have to see innocence in everybody.
Everybody.
If we like everybody but 1 or 2 people, then that means we hate everyone.
Yep.
Is that crazy? Yeah. So you are doing it. Fantastic job, Maria. Man, big time success. Everyone on the call succeeding. Forgiveness for you, and forgiveness for you, and forgiveness for you. All right. All right, who's next? Wow, you did it in time too. Look at you had 44 seconds left. Well done. All right.
Woo.
Yeah. All right, who's next?
I'll go next.
All right.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty fortunate too, in that there's, not a lot of bad stuff going on in my life. So I was like racking my brain, like, okay, what did I need to forgive? And then it occurred to me that it was my brother, because my privacy fence is falling apart. And so I was getting bids to see how much it would cost to get my privacy fence replaced. And my brother is financially challenged right now. So I agreed that I would let him do the fence for the same fee that I would have had to pay the fencing company. And he does excellent work. So there's no question about that. And when it's done, it will be a fabulous job. Where the forgiveness comes in is that we bought the materials 6 weeks ago. And if I'd had the fencing company do it, it would be done by now. And it's the end of October, and I live in Michigan, which means that we're looking at snow coming within the next few weeks. And so I had, one day earlier in the week, I'm stewing, and every morning I'd get up and go through the day, and okay, another day he didn't come, another day he didn't come. And I got myself all into a stew about, oh my goodness, is this material going to sit in my garage all winter? And now there won't be any place for my patio furniture. Fortunately, there's plenty of room for the car, which is what's really important. And so I found myself doing that. And for a couple of days, when he didn't come, I would, get myself all stewed up. And I'm like going, it's not the end of the world. The worst case scenario is when the materials sit in the garage all winter. The patio furniture has to sit out on the driveway. Not the end of the world. My relationship with my brother is far more important. And so I was able to take a step back, see the innocence in him, identify with the fact that I'm a horrible procrastinator myself. So who am I to be casting judgment on somebody who's procrastinating? And so it was okay. And then he came yesterday and did some work on it. And he came again today and did some work on it. And ended up staying for dinner, which is why I couldn't watch the rest of the video. So the relationship with my brother is fine, and it's far more important than whenever the fence gets finished. So that was my forgiveness.
Wow. That's big time, man. And then he still came through and did some work.
Yeah.
So, yay. Hey, that's high level stuff right there. That's the type of stuff makes people mad. It makes them crazy. I've seen it on my end as well, especially when you're waiting for someone and all that stuff. And whoa, I'm going to mute you there, Linda. Oh, yeah, and there it is, timer. You got it all in 3 minutes, too.
Yay.
Well done, Stana. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for listening.
Yes. Okay. That leaves Linda Pettigrew and maybe Craig Sullender. We'll see. Who wants to go next?
Can I go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Here you go. Clock's ticking.
Okay, so the forgiveness in the field, okay. Now, I have to admit, I'm in a room 25 years, and I smoked cocaine that long.
Hey, Linda, we don't hear you. It's like, okay, maybe you were touching the microphone and we didn't hear you very well. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, I'm sorry, my fault. All right, so it's about December last year, though. Wanted to get a better reality check, and I did join a group. Didn't turn out to be the right group, but whatever, Everybody's different. That's all I'm going to say. So, the thing is, with this kid wanting their stuff, it tells you, okay, that you really need to take a better look at your attitude, all right, how you will react to any and all situations. All you have to do is just say the wrong thing. Whether you're right or wrong, doesn't matter. If you just overreact or you go, hello, idiot. You have to act like your own lawyer, okay? Be very, very careful what you say. You have to be a professional distance from the other person. That's what Course in Miracles is teaching me. That's what I learned from Ken Wapnick, to keep a professional distance. I go to a TOPS meeting now Friday morning. I'll be honest with you, I'm not doing the best I can my weight loss. I'm not. Because right now I'm pre-diabetic. It's nothing to do with that. But my diverticulitis, oh God. I mean, I'm doing the best I can. That's all I can do. I have very bad legs. I walk with a cane. And I just do the best I can. That's all I can do. So there's one group that I'm with. I don't know. So within the last few months, I've noticed that attitudes are changing. I don't know. And it was about 3 days ago on my Facebook page. I'll call him John Doe, okay? And I just kind of like followed along. You know, one of those posts on Facebook where you want a hug from your friends. I think very nice, send healing. Now, mind you, that's all I want to give is healing. Okay? Duh! You don't understand that? Get out of my face. I'm from New York, like I give a crap what you think. I'm sorry, that's just the way I am. Say one word and you're out of my life. My boyfriend knows that's how I am. So this idiot, he puts up, so it says about who would like to give me a hug or whatnot. So it says, well, it's good to get a hug, but you only ask for so much. When you ask for too much, people are going to back off. And then he says, suck it up, woman. I was like, excuse me? I'm 25 years clean from a house of tough love. I have a bad temper, red hair. I'm from New York.
Did you forgive him?
Oh, okay, so I just got him out of my life. So I may have to transfer to another group just to save my temper.
Okay. Hey, great forgiveness stuff, Linda. That's when you're dealing with people online and that online conflict,
I know.
That's a big time forgiveness lesson. So great job on forgiving him and taking some action.
So when I see him again, I'll be nice to him. That's what I'm going to have to do. But frankly, I think I should transfer to another group. I'm going to go to another TOPS group Monday morning. I'm going to play it out. If not, I'll just have to do this myself, because I'm doing the best I can to get along with everybody.
Yeah, and I think that also plays into the fact that, you also don't need to be a doormat. It's the
right.
miracle.
I'm from New York.
Yeah.
I look at you. I know what you're thinking. That's the house I'm from, okay? Don't play with me.
For sure. I think it's good that you take action and put yourself in a better position, for sure. Thank you for sharing, Linda. All right. Craig Sullender, Forgiveness in the Field, sir.
Hey, thanks. Yes, so there's a poet I follow out of Houston named Tony Hoagland, and he died this week. And I went and read a couple of the things he'd written lately, and it was interesting to me because of what he was saying, looking back at his life, and the way he said it and the way he talked about it. I think it helped me, like right then, have forgiveness for life, where it may not turn out the way I expected it to, and it made me kind of reorient my thinking about it, where I don't know, I feel more focused on things like what we're studying than on what I might be accomplishing. That's it.
Honestly, I love what you said, because to me, that's the biggest accomplishment of this seeming existence we're in right now, is the things that we're studying and learning from the Course. No matter what we apply, or what we do in the world of form, how many millions of dollars we make or do not make, what we accomplish is not really it's not really the most important thing. It's did you forgive, and did you wake up from the dream, the best you could. So I'm right there with you, man. I know we need to be normal and still do all the things that we're supposed to do, but very well said. Thank you for sharing.
Okay, thanks.
Awesome. Hey, that's Nathan Lively's dad, everybody. Give it up. Give it up. Round of applause. Give me some thumbs up. Oh, look, everyone's clapping. Golfers clap. That's the first time we've had you on, Craig, so thanks. Feel free to come back anytime. It was great to hear your voice.
Oh, sure, thanks.
Yes. All right, so, wow, man, the hour just flew by. Can't believe we only have 3 minutes left. So we need somebody to select Ken Wapnick videos. We want about 30 minutes of content.
If anyone hasn't done it yet, they should go if it's their first time. But if everyone has, I can do it.
Okay, so Nathan's the backup. So does Maria or Stana or Lengi or Linda want to choose, or do y'all want Nathan to do it?
I could take a look and do it.
All right, Maria, it's all you.
I'll commit to do it for the following week, but I'm not all that familiar with his stuff, so I'll need a little time to actually go through it and make the selections.
Beautiful. So thank you. Go ahead.
Can I just chip in with something quick?
Sure.
Miracles. We're doing a course in miracles, but we never talk about miracles. And I don't know why that is, because when I started doing a course in miracles, I couldn't wait to do one. And I've done a few. And I think a lot of people do miracles, but don't actually notice them. And I think if they notice them, they would progress a little bit quicker. You know, the Course in Miracles is all about miracles. And nobody ever talks about miracles when they're talking about A Course in Miracles. And I find that bizarre.
You know, that's a very high level question. I would like to ask Gary Renard that. I want to see what he has to say.
I mean, the miracle basically is when you forgive, you're giving an error to
let's save this for another call, because I do have to get off here in like 1 minute.
Yeah, cool. That's cool.
Thank you for bringing that up, Lengi, and let's continue the dialogue maybe on the Facebook, on the chat, or on the public side too. Maybe get everyone to chat in on a thread.
Okay.
But would love, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that on the group. Thank you for bringing that up, Lengi. I know that you had mentioned that on the chat between me and you. Totally forgot about that.
Never mind. I'll forgive you.
Thank you. That's the miracle. Maria, when you select the videos, we're looking for 30 minutes of whatever content you feel like is best for, would be like just whatever you choose, really. Just go with the Holy Spirit, choose whatever you want. Even if we've listened to it before, honestly, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it's good to hear it again.
Okay.
And just choose whatever you feel like is best. Go ahead and make the post in the Facebook group and just say, this is what we're going to be discussing for next week's call, which would be November, is it 2nd? No. Friday, November 2nd. So just go ahead and post the links, and that will do it. So thank you all for being on. It's been a wonderful call. So let's go ahead and unmute the lines and have everyone say good night and God bless.
Good night.
Good night and God bless.
Good night and God bless.
I love you all. You keep me straight, huh?
Love you all. Bye,
See you all next
Lucy.
week.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Good night.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you all.